The people of Israel had conquered the armies of King Sihon and King Og. When Balak, the king of Moab, heard this, he and all his people were very afraid. They thought the Israelites would conquer them too. So King Balak sent messengers to a prophet named Balaam. They brought money with them and said, "King Balak wants you to put a curse on the Israelites." The king hoped this would mean he could beat the Israelites in battle. But God spoke to Balaam and told him not to do what the king had asked. When the messengers reported this to the king, he sent even more important men to Balaam. They said Balaam would get a big reward if he did as the king asked. But Balaam said he could not go against the Lord's command. However, in the morning, Balaam saddled his donkey and did go with the men. But the Lord was angry with him, and on the way, God's messenger appeared 3 times to block Balaam's path. Balaam couldn't see the messenger, but his donkey could, so she tried to get out of the way. Balaam was angry with the donkey and struck her with his staff. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and she spoke. "Why have you struck me 3 times?" she asked. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he could see the messenger standing there with his sword drawn. The donkey had saved his life. Balaam said, "I have sinned." But the messenger told him to keep going, but that he should only speak what God told him to say. So Balaam went to King Balak and told him he would bring whatever message the Lord gave him. Balak wanted him to curse Israel, but 3 times Balaam blessed them instead. It meant that good would happen to them, because that's what God had firmly decided, and God never changes his mind. King Balak was furious with Balaam for blessing the Israelites. But Balaam gave another prophecy. He said that one day someone like a star would rise out of Israel, and all Israel's enemies would be destroyed. Then Balaam went on his way. This story shows us that no one can spoil God's plans. King Balak wanted to curse God's people, but God wouldn't let him. And it shows us that God never changes his mind. When he has decided to do something, he always goes ahead and does it. He would bless his people. And Balaam's last message points us to Jesus Christ. He is the star who would rise up and save God's people from their enemies.